I've got the Blazer popped over into the sport mode. Whoa. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Chevy Blazer. This one's in the 2LT cloth package. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this Blazer. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get right into the video. So under the hood we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 228 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go to the front end of the Blazer. So first off, we still have the signature sharp body lines there on the hood, and then the LED accent lights just down below, with the headlight just down below that. And you can see how the whole front end here with the grille is all blacked out, including the Chevy bow tie, which I think looks really good. But notice this kind of has more of a metallic appearance, obviously. But other than that, yeah, the front end of the Blazer I still think looks really good, and obviously very similar to the Camaro. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 35mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And I like how the wheel itself is all blacked out, ties in nicely with the rest of the accent pieces here on the Blazer. Notice how we have the plastic molding for the fender flare, and then it continues all along the side. Got our Blazer logo right there. The mirrors are also blacked out, and then the roof rails as well. And then notice this part right here, the pillar is blacked out, and then there in the back. So yeah, lots of blacked out elements here on the Blazer, and there is your full side view. Now here's our key fob. We have our unlock, lock, remote start, and then the opening for the hatch, and then the Chevy bow tie there on the back. Press that twice, and the hatch will open right up. I'm guessing that snow's gonna fall off. Ah! Survivor. Now popping here into the rear, notice that we have this mat covering that continues here onto the backs of the seats, so the back of the seats is protected as well. But you guys can also see storage space is great, especially when you have the second row folded down. And then picking this up, you can see the spare tire just underneath. And then you have that latch right there to throw down the second row seats on both sides, which is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, that's everything for the back. So we're gonna close her up, and is that snow gonna survive? That's the question. Let's see, let's see. Ah! Part of it fell off. Now finishing things up here in the rear, we still have the same Blazer taillights, which look really good. We have the Blazer logo, which now you can see. We've got the blacked out Chevy bow tie, the exhaust tips out either side, which give it a much more aggressive appearance. And that's everything for the rear. Now here's the door panel in the back. Notice how we have soft touch here and just down below with the stitching that goes throughout, and we've got our door handle. And then we have these seats, which all you have to do is just lift it back up. You can do it with one arm, which is pretty cool. And then notice how we have the pattern here in the center portion of the seat. I think that looks great. And then the little lever you can pull to throw it down. But anyways, here is legroom. You guys can see headroom as well. Notice we have the vents right here, some USBs, some backseat storage, and then this pulls down to be an armrest with some cup holders, which is great. Let's head to the front. Here's a door panel at the front of the Blazer. Again, you've got all of that padding all over with the window controls and the mirror adjustments, door lock and unlock, and then you guys can see the mirrors right there with the blind spot monitoring. We have this for the rear hatch, and then here are the seats at the front. That same cool design here with the cloth all down the center. We do have our power adjustments on the side of the seat. Pedals down below. We've got our parking brake right here with the light control, and then yeah, there's one more look before we actually pop in. Now here's the steering wheel on the Blazer, pretty basic material wise, but I love this, how they make it like perforated. It's not leather, but just like what they do with perforated leather, so I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, radio controls in the back. We have our voice command phone controls, controls for the center stack, cruise control here on the other side. We have our turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge clutch. You can see you've got RPMs on the left side. On the right side you've got the speed, and then you have a few different menus you can scroll through here in the center to give you different bits of information on the Blazer. Pretty standard vehicle stuff right there. Battery voltage. But yeah, that's all for the center screen with that portion. Now I do have some different drive modes. So right now we're in 4-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, right? We can put it into 2-wheel drive, and then we can go from that into the next drive mode, which is your sport mode. And then we have our kind of like all-terrain mode, which is off-road mode, you can go into as well. But we're just gonna keep it in the 4-wheel drive mode for right now. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. You can see the backup camera with trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel. Notice it has the warning right there. It's saying that something is in my blind spot, which is pretty cool. Moving on from that to the rest of the infotainment system, response time with the screen is fantastic. Notice you can access the camera with the infotainment system itself. It does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Analog controls are right there at the bottom portion. And then you've got like your auto stop start and then hazard light button right next to it. And then also our glove box button and our stability control on the other side. But yeah, that's the infotainment system area. Now down below we've got all of our climate controls. This does come with heated seats for the front passengers, and then we have the really cool trick vents where you twist this to actually change the temperature with the Blazer. Now this does have a dual zone climate system. We've got some USBs down here for some charging, and then you've got some extra storage space right there, and then notice the padding here on the side as well. But yeah, that's kind of all for that little area. And then going over the glove box, just press that button. That'll open up the glove box right there. You guys can see the storage space with that whole situation. And then we have the shifter here for the 9-speed automatic. It does have the manual shift function here on the side, and then the low range. We've got some cup holders right here, and then also got the parking sensor, and then we've got this for the lane departure. And then again, this is the whole drive mode select system. Right now we're in all-wheel drive mode. And then we have the center console right here, which you can see the storage space within that. Fun stuff. There is some more charging stuff there, and notice we have this where you can thread through some cables, and then you got the nice padding here, and then padding here on the dash as well, and on the door and all that fun stuff. And then finishing things up top, we do have the sunglass holder here at the top, just a traditional mirror here for that area, and then universal garage door openers, and well, that's all for that. So here's our window sticker for this Blazer. Because there's a ton of glare, it's kind of hard to see everything. But anyways, after all the options on this particular one, stickers for $40,270. And wait for it. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, the rest of the rear, and well, let's set off. So we are setting off here in the Blazer, and this is the first time I've ever driven a Blazer with the 2-liter turbo. I've only driven Blazers with the V6 up until this point, so this will be completely new for me. It'll be interesting to see how this actually performs. First off, I just drove an Equinox right before this, and you can definitely perceive just a ride quality difference between both of them. The Equinox is really smooth, but this Blazer takes it up to a whole nother level. Like, it's so smooth and comfortable, and it really does, like, it's really nice. It almost feels like luxury vehicle versus non-luxury vehicle. And I mean, that makes sense when you have a longer wheelbase and all that fun stuff. Road noise, pretty minimal, all that normal stuff. Blazer, I mean, it feels well built. It feels just like a nice, quiet, normal SUV. Other than that, I mean, there's not much else to say for the initial stuff. Oh, we can talk about the seats, I guess. Seat comfort's actually really good. Same thing that I noticed in the Equinox is these seats are really like nice and supportive, but they're comfortable too. Like, this is the kind of seat that I'd want in a car for a very long road trip. Like, I do all this driving for these reviews. Like, this is the type of seat that I want with all the driving that I do. So I think that Chevy did a good job. I've got the Blazer popped over into the sport mode. Whoa. That punches. Wow, I didn't expect that. Gonna pop it back over into just the all-wheel drive mode. Yeah, that 2-liter punches. I didn't expect it to be that quick. There's definitely a benefit to getting this over the V6. Wow, that was pretty exciting. That 9-speed's really quick too. Yeah, really good engine transmission combo. I will say that. And you're gonna get a little bit of blow off too. It's an interesting experience. I'm gonna slow down a little bit so I can get that again. Yeah, you hear the little whistle. So yeah, that actually does really good. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick. So yeah, let's get into setting things up here with this Blazer and with the 2-liter. So first off, I still think to this day the Blazer is still a good-looking SUV. I know, again, I mentioned this in every Blazer review because everyone always talked about this. Despite the name, right, it's a cool-looking SUV, right? It's a cool-looking modern SUV. I don't care about the name. It looks great in the exterior. Interior wise, for being you know, more of like a baseline package, this is actually pretty nice. The seat's really nice. It's got nice material here on the dash. So I think they did a good job overall with the design, the material use and all that. And then from a driving perspective, it's smooth, it's comfortable. This is a competitor to the Jeep Grand Cherokee. And, you know, I think it does a really good job. It's affordable from a price point perspective. The fact that you can switch between two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, I think, is a huge plus, because you can decide if you want to get better fuel economy or if you need a little bit more grip. So I think that that's pretty cool. And yeah, this 2-liter is actually really good. It's super torquey. It moves it. Yeah, I really like this. And especially at elevation, that the V6, right, it's naturally aspirated, so it loses quite a bit more power than this turbocharged engine. So they actually feel pretty similar. They're pretty dang close. So yeah, I would check out the turbo version of the Blazer. Drive that back to back with the V6, see which one you like more. And as for this, for a rating, it's right where it needs to be, so give it 7.5. And yeah, that's the Blazer. Now that's gonna sum things up for our video on this 2022 Chevy Blazer 2LT cloth. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the Blazer. Check out their inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.